Welcome to the nightmare scenario, my friends. We've got this tweet from Andrew Falchuk on X, and he points out the third most viewed video on all of YouTube this week is an AI-generated short of a pug that saves a baby from a plane crash, and then they try surviving on an island. I will play some of this for you now.
Just let the baby out the window.
There you go. Make it bigger. There we go. The baby had a parachute, by the way, and the plane explodes.
If you got parachutes, that's the right move.
This is actually
Good dog.
The pug then saves the baby.
It sounds like Titanic music.
Yep. This is creepy. The dog is now securing a coconut to make a bottle for the baby. Oh, he's making fish in the coconut. Look at that.
Got an opposable thumb.
SOS. The baby's gotten bigger, and its hair color changed.
Black off.
Yeah, right? Why do they have guns? The baby's been saved. So this video I find to be creepy, but not nearly as creepy as it gets. That's the number 3 video on all of YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Final Galaxy. This is another one of these AI SLOP. This is ElsaGate. If you don't know what ElsaGate is, welcome to the nightmare. About 8 years ago, there were a series of videos on YouTube that were going massively viral. It was Spider-Man, Joker, and Elsa running around with no speaking, and they were engaging in gags. These gags became increasingly more and more deranged. At first, it was just the Joker kidnapping Elsa and Spider-Man saving the day. But these videos are getting hundreds of millions of views. Eventually, they started turning into creepy things like Elsa was pregnant, and there would be a woman wearing a pregnant belly, and the Joker would have a syringe, and he'd be trying to stick her with it, a big plastic fake one, getting weirder and weirder. Eventually, you ended up with the Finger Family songs, which is very much what we are seeing now with this story. Take a look at this, the top 2 videos. 168 million views, and it's a child in a Spider-Man costume running from flying hot dogs. The next one is Spider-Man surrounded by hot dogs. There's Spider-Man fighting a sumo wrestler. There's Spider-Man with a gun pointed at the Joker. Here's a creepy one of Spicy Pepper Spider-Man eating a bunch of spicy peppers, kicking a child, Spider-Man with a child. This is AI generic garbage garbled nonsense. Now, you might look at this and say like, okay, well, you know, in this one, it's Spider-Man fighting a sumo wrestler. What's bad with that? It is babies watching these videos. It is likely babies and children. And the reason why they have so many views, what we saw with ElsaGate, this is exactly the same thing. They use keywords like Joker, Spider-Man. They've got Supergirl, apparently. Haircut and styling. It is literally just Iron Man. They are targeting keywords that get a lot of traffic on YouTube so that the video will autoplay for your baby. When you put your tablet in front of the baby and press play and walk away, this is what your baby starts seeing. These deranged and unhinged videos. It is going to fry their brains and socially stunt them and make them mentally unwell in the future. It is incoherent nonsense videos, and they're getting hundreds of millions of views. That video with the pug, that is a nightmare video. To be fair, a pug rescuing a baby isn't nearly as bad as the Joker forcing a hot dog in Spider-Man's mouth, but they're still strange, incoherent, asocial videos that are going to fry children's brains. And it's back, baby. There was a channel. Let me see if I can find this story. This is nuts. AI Trump YouTube channel that got some coverage. Yeah, here we go. We'll pull this one up. It's not just the garbled nonsense. It's this. Look at this. AI slop farms are churning out fake, heartwarming videos about Trump figures. And look at this. It's Carolyn Levitt, and she's on a plane. Like, what is this? They apparently deleted the channel, but there were videos. One was described as they used that AI voice that sounds like this, if you've ever heard it. And a little girl approached Donald Trump and asked him, Mr. President, will you save the starving people? And the president said, and then it shows like Trump and he's looking at the child. Super creepy AI nightmare scenario. Welcome to hell.
Is this Final Galaxy TV? Because it says this channel is not made for kids. I'm trying to look it up.
Final Galaxy.
Yeah, Dash TV, and it's more. It says
Yeah.
it's not made for children, so I don't know if it's marked off
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure
not.
they do that,
just to lie to us.
or just so that they
adults?
could, because they do that because they'll get banned for this.
Okay.
And I mean, look at the description. All videos are created by Final Galaxy. All videos contain materials protected by fair use guidelines. Yeah, they're gonna
Age is 13 and up.
Indeed.
So a 13-year-old can see that. I've got a 12-year-old girl, and she will look at this stuff and ask me if it's real.
a 7-year-old still gets this.
Yeah.
They're putting 13 and up only because they know it's bannable because YouTube already nuked all this stuff during the first ElsaGate.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Disney's pretty infamous for having pretty litigious attorneys.
Yep.
Where's the DCMA attorney?
I don't see how this is fair use. I mean, there's a certain degree where you can argue transformative or satirical or something, or commentary. Maybe one or two of these might fall into the realm of like we're satirizing it, but they're literally just using the IP to generate hundreds of millions of views. It is, and this is just one channel. I think I think I've actually got this. Here, take a look at this. This is viewstats.com. And GTA 5, Where is My Green Bed? In 21 hours, it has 19,614,546 views. Enjoy the video. That's it.
Good God.
And this channel's got 3.2 million subscribers. What is this channel even?
Hello.
Look at these shorts. Look at this. The latest one has 19. Oh, that's 19 million views from yesterday. Where is my shower towel Squid Game? 53 million views.
Gross.
Hey. Oh, thank you.
That's all? And it gets 53 million?
Hey.
Look at the title of the video. GTA 5, Where is My Pillow? Squid Game Girl Doll Part. The goal is just to exploit the algorithm to get views, and it's working. And it's good. Look at this.
No, it's Where's My Shower Towel Squid Game.
This one is GTA Where's My Pillow Squid Game next to it.
Gotcha.
Same one. GTA 5, Who Owns This Bed? Squid Game. So this is really interesting.
And then YouTube cuts checks to these things because they get the views, right?
Yeah.
So,
Hundreds of millions like that?
Yeah.
well, I'll do some quick math for 53 million views on a short. It's probably going to be $500, $600
For that one
for that
single.
one single. Yeah, and you'd think they'd get way more with 53 million. That's actually it's shorts. They run one commercial.
Okay.
What's his most popular? See how he opens every video with GTA 5? That's manipulating the algorithm. That's a bannable offense. And so what he's doing is every video is titled GTA 5 title followed by Squid Game. Squid Game Girl Doll Part. That's the algorithmic manipulation. Isn't that crazy? I mean, bravo to them for figuring out how to manipulate the algorithm like that, but it's messed up because this is going to fry the kids' brains.
But the return on investment, is, if you think about it, is creating that 1 5-second clip. I don't know, $10 of your time to put that together? Because it's the marginal cost of
Not
doing
even.
that.
Not
Not
even.
even. Yeah.
He's probably got a program that he just types in AI.
Yeah.
He just opens up an AI video generator and says, make this video, enter.
$1.
Upload.
50 cents.
Yep.
And then you get 500 in return.
There's the top video might be, they're all shorts, by the way. Here's the top video for the past day. Oh, jeez. It's
all
just
brain rot.
Yup.
Brain rot.
And YouTube is intentionally, look at this. All of the top YouTube videos are shorts. They're all, except for this one, Raid 2 Money, 9 million in 12 hours from T-Series. But T-Series is massive. They're like Indian, I think, right?
Yeah.
YouTube is just, I'll be honest. I'll tell you what I think. I think that the push towards TikTok-style shorts on all these platforms is intending to end shows like this. You can't have a Donald Trump presidency if you eliminate the ability for the people to speak. And so they are siphoning revenue away from platforms like this and then moving everything over to dead formats like shorts.
It's Orwellian. I mean, this is...
So instead of listening to this show, people are just doom scrolling through.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're watching that.
Yep.
Just weird giggle noises. The worst thing is it's children that are doing it.
Well, I can attest to that. I taught high school for 3 years, and I would catch students watching this kind of stuff, and I just could not comprehend the interest. Like, why? They had no idea. It's just,
It's that dopamine squirt that just, oh, that's interesting. I want to see another one. Oh, dopamine squirt.
It's interesting how we kids used to do drugs and smoke.
Yeah.
They used to drink, and it was like, whatever. Children had cigarettes way a long time ago. And then at some point we were like, this is actually melting their brains and destroying their bodies. Let's stop this. We haven't yet figured out we need those restrictions. I think YouTube should be, I think it's never going to happen, to be honest. Our Congress is too dysfunctional. So perhaps the fall of Rome occurs when your lawmakers can't defend themselves from whatever this is. Reasonably, I think Congress would say to YouTube, banned. AI slop and slop content in general are banned, even if it's human-made. A 4-second video of people giggling and eating carrots, like, nope, you can't do it.
So we need a whole new division, whole new department, or a transfer department. I know I'm not trying to expand, Phil. I'm just throwing this out there.
I guess it's
we got someone already.
I guess you can't because it's a 1A violation.
yeah, that's it's certainly unconstitutional, but I don't think that's something government can handle. That's a societal problem. I mean,
Well, the government handled drugs.
have they?
Yeah, they have. We used to put cocaine in our Coca-Cola. Now cocaine use, so this is a really good argument that Seamus Coughlin brings up when it comes to abortion. The liberals always say that if you ban abortion, then it's a coat hanger in the alley. And Seamus responded with, okay, so you're saying 99% of abortions will be gone? Deal.
Yeah.
Like, your argument is overwhelmingly abortions are stopped. So certainly there's problems with the war on drugs and how they've handled it in the past 20 years. But societally, through laws, regulation, we got rid of cocaine and Coca-Cola.
And that was mostly on the state level rather than the federal.
Indeed, indeed.
That's where it started.
But I do believe you're largely correct. That's a societal problem. And I don't know how you solve for that. Because, look, man, how many parents are aware that this is happening to their children and are going to be able to adapt quickly enough to stop it from frying their kids' brains?
Have you, not to digress, but have you guys discussed the fourth turning on this show before?
Ad nauseum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we're there. And the fourth turning is all sorts of things, right? Political instability, debasement of currency, civil unrest, and the breakdown of the family. And
Indeed.
And the only way to get through it is to go through the crisis. And then when we come out of it, we're going to be a lot better. And I don't know that I truly believe the fourth turning, but it seems like we're heading there.
I don't see why this would be the one time it breaks.
Right.
I mean, so they say, this is, for those that are not familiar, Strauss-Howe generational theory, they call it 4 seasons. And the easiest way to explain it is what happened 80 years ago.
World War II.
80 years before that.
Civil War.
80 years before that.
Revolution.
Exactly. And they say that actually there's more. We tend to just not talk about what happened 80 years before.
War of the Roses. And
right. They explain it's basically that a generation goes through war and crisis. They're hardened. They struggle. They survive. They have healthy children. Those children understand the lessons from their grandparents. They have kids. The grandkids grow up in a flourishing society from the hard work of their grandparents, but their parents largely didn't understand. And then the next generation is totally detached, angry, dejected, has no idea what's going on, and chaotic, and then it breaks again. And that's where we are. And I think it's true.
I do too.
Yeah.
That's where the black pill comes from.
It is. Yeah, I take a black pill every day.
But this is what I don't like about the black pill. Just because we can predict that a storm is going to happen doesn't mean it's like, I guess it's done and we lay down. Imagine if you're outside and they're like, a tornado's coming. It's like, well, I guess I die. It's like, what are you talking about? Get in the cellar. Do something to prepare for this. And then when the storm passes, you get to work. What I genuinely don't understand about the mentality of so many millennials, and it's a sliding scale. Millennials have it bad. The work makes them feel pain. They hate work. That I cannot understand. And I feel like you'll see this tendency between liberals and conservatives, where conservatives, I believe, more likely enjoy work and liberals more likely hate work. And it's why you get communists. They don't want to do anything. Yep. Conservatives, maybe it's because of, maybe there's a correlation between living in urban and rural environments and why conservatives tend to be in more rural areas. Maybe you had to chop your own wood and tend to your own animals. Be responsible for yourself. You lived in a city and you had delivery service do it for you. Or you had welfare checks or something. I don't know.
I mean, look, it's not a good situation. We were just talking about the interest rate and the bind that the essentially the Federal Reserve and the government are in, trying to fix the problem, but we've allowed it to get so out of control that I'm not sure that there is a way out that isn't defaulting on the debt or something that destroys the dollar, trying to hyperinflate the dollar or something.
Okay, let's entertain defaulting on the dollar, because I don't think people realize how apocalyptic that means. It means the global financial system crashes worse than we've ever seen. The first question I have for you guys is, if that does happen, your access to what is largely viewed as routine consumer goods is gone.
Mm-hmm.
What is, and I love this question, the hardest to source, cheap, and most important consumer item you would want to have if the global economic chain collapsed?
I mean, look, it's going to be things like water or...
Disagree.
What do you think?
Well, I got a well. I can pump water.
Okay, so, well, I have a well. I have a well as well.
Indeed. So that's not hard to source. It's actually quite easy.
It depends. Okay, so not for you.
If you're in a
personally.
city,
Yes.
what I mean is,
Who are you talking about then?
I mean us. Like,
Okay,
literally, these gentlemen in front of me. I have my answer, and I think a lot of people who have seen the show know what the answer that I think is. But something that you can go to the store right now and buy without a thought, that once the economic chain collapses, you ain't getting, and it's extremely useful.
Oh, yeah. I know what this is. Never mind.
I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking of your question differently, which is if
What do you want to buy 5 boxes of right now? If you knew,
protein,
that is a good one. I don't think it's
protein and water.
So emergency food is a very, very good idea if you thought the collapse was coming. But but food's not, I would say for you guys, particularly hard to source. I think on average conservatives skew towards understanding how to grow their own food. I'm not saying they're all farmers and they're all going to master it. Much more likely where they live, because they tend to be in rural areas, and so they're going to have more sparsely populated. I don't believe food is the hardest thing to source.
Ammo
Ammo is probably one of the best answers. Yeah. And that's probably up there at number one. My second choice, or rivaling first, is antiseptics.
Yeah.
Stub your toe on a rock, get sepsis and die. Or splash a little alcohol. And it's not mouthwash. It might just be whiskey.
Yeah, my cousins are pretty good at banking that. I'm not in South Carolina themselves.
Grow potatoes.
Yeah, potatoes, corn.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Neosporin has an expiration date. I mean, it's essentially, some kind of antiseptic that's suspended in petroleum jelly. So, that's a good way to take care of minor injuries, the kind of stuff that Tim's talking about. Ammo, obviously, is really good. You should, especially if you're a regular viewer of this show, you should have firearms, ammo, food, access to water, if not actually having water on hand, stuff to put water in that isn't plastic bottles, etc., like that.
But I don't think they're going to default. I think they're going to inflate their way out.
Yeah.
They're literally just going to start printing money, and they're going to use that to buy bonds and put them in the Federal Reserve.
Don't you?
And interest rates are then.
So then the value of all your money goes away.
Yep, correct.
So that
But the stock market will rally.
It's still going to be some kind of. It's still going to send massive repercussions throughout the whole global financial system, and that still likely will turn into some kind of conflict.
The only thing that saved us so far is the fact that the only
rest
thing
of the world
is worse. Correct. I mean, the fiat dollar is bad, but every other currency is worse.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.